New Radio and the Door County Daily News. Welcome to our latest edition of Ask a Farmer. I'm Tim Coles, and Ask a Farmer brought to you by the Door County Farm Bureau. We're joined by a farm just north of us in Sturgeon Bay, getting ready to host the Sebastopol FFA Dairy Breakfast. Tricia and Kevin Wilke off to my left, Ruth and Rebecca Wilke off to my right. And we're just going to bounce off questions off all four of them that you have submitted that we've been able to gather around the office. Also had a long car ride asking questions as well. So, Kevin, first of all, tell us a little bit about the farm in the history of Wilkie, our organic farm.
Well, we started 2011 shipping milk organically, wasn't it? We signed up. Took 3 years to become organic. So we started, I think it was March 1st of 2011, shipping organic milk to Organic Valley. Before that, the farm originated with great grandpa in 1886, I believe it was. So yeah, I'm the fourth generation on the farm. Rebecca, Rachel, and Ruth are the fifth generation. So been a long time in the family.
Now, go into that because obviously, a lot of people see farms. We're in June Dairy Month, so a lot of people are going to farms as part of their June Dairy breakfasts and things like that. Not many are organic farms. Tell us a little bit about what makes an organic farm different than maybe other farms that people might be seeing during this month in particular.
Um, well, we have to be certified organic through the USDA. So we submit our paperwork to MOSA, is who we go through, which is a certifying agency. They look at it all, and then they take it and submit it to the USDA. So you're not organic until the USDA looks it all over and says you're organic. Now, having said that, there's only one other farm here in Door County that's organic. That'd be Mike and Katie Polish. We had more, but they retired and moved on. So yeah, there's only two of us in all of Door County that are organic. So we do a lot of natural things. No spraying. The popular ones: no spraying, no oil-based fertilizers. Cattle are out on pasture and follow all the rules.
And we'll go around the horn here, Tricia. We'll start with you. What's kind of your role on the farm on a daily basis?
I manage milking and health of the dairy cows and pasture rotation for the cow milk lactating cows and young stock.
Kevin?
I do the field work. Tricia does all the mothering, so to speak, of the cattle, and then I do all the field work along with Tricia and the girls. I'm more of the field guy, the tractors, the equipment, and crops.
Ruth?
I help out both my mom and my dad with whatever they need. So I do a bunch of different things.
You're the good daughter. I like hearing that. Rebecca, how about yourself?
I kind of do the same. If I need to milk, I milk. And if my dad needs help in the field, I go out and help him. I kind of do everything, same as Ruth.
And how has that been kind of I guess, a useful thing to you as the fifth generation to kind of get a good flavor of what mom and dad do on the farm on a daily basis?
Well, I have been considering if I want to take over the farm. So just knowing what it takes, what I will have to do in the future if I do plan on taking over the farm and what my responsibilities will be, just knowing all that.
I think it kind of helps if mom and dad need to go somewhere that we can still do everything if an accident were to happen or if something were to happen to them and one of them isn't here, we still know how to do everything. So I think that's a huge aspect.
Well, as mom and dad are going on vacation every now and then, right?
Yeah.
And to go back to the organic piece and stuff like that, you mentioned that when you were on this farm originally it wasn't organic. You made that decision to go organic. What was that thought process like for you to finally say, "Hey, you know what? We're going to change our practices up and become organic"?
Um, our neighbors, Lenny and Shirley, were organic, I think, since 2000. So we've seen it over the years, being neighbors and just talking to them. The milk prices had really dipped in '09 and 10, I believe. So watching them, learning, we looked at each other and said, "Hey, I think we can do this." So with help from them, we switched and did it. And just seeing all the chemical use and oil-based use, and things like that. And with the girls being young, we wanted to try to do something better for the environment, I guess.
And you mentioned about the milk prices. That I could be wrong. For some reason, I remember you saying this long ago. We go back, almost 10 years at this point. Um, you're kind of guaranteed a price, right? You don't necessarily have to live and die by the market just like some other farmers do, correct?
Correct. Right now, I think our base is 27.55 a hundredweight. Then you get all your premiums from there. Our last milk check, which in summer months is lower than winter months, we were getting little over $31 a hundredweight for our milk, with all the bonuses in there too. Yep. So a sustainable price, guaranteed, is a big thing.
Now, Tricia, you handle the girls in the barn and stuff. How many cows are in the barn that you milk on a daily basis?
Our barn holds 32, and on a normal basis, we'll rotate between 8 to 12.
Okay.
So that
And-
usually puts us about 40 or 45,
Okay.
depending on when you get the cows bred back.
Now, we were talking before we came on. You went to the Kewaunee County Breakfast on the Farm. They obviously have a lot more cows. They got the parlors and stuff like that. You're seeing other farms install robots to kind of help with the milking operation. How do you do it, and how does that kind of dictate, kind of your daily process?
We are more hands-on. They put more monitors on their cows with collars, so they know when the cow is telling them if it's got mastitis, if it's running a temperature. For us, it's just normal observation of our cow. If it's sitting off to the side, not grazing, if it's the last one to the barn, especially when you have your top bossy cow and that one's not the first one in the door, then you know there's something wrong, because if Julie's not running you over, then you have to go find where she is, because we have what we call our bossy cows, and the ones that are at the front of the herd. So
Gotcha.
then you'll know that you have to go find them because they're not feeling well somewhere. And then just watching with being organic, we watch our cows' behavior very well, their ear, their posture, if they're out eating or off to the side. Just observation is a big part of our profession, because we can't use antibiotics, and when it comes to bringing our cows back, I cannot use synthetic hormones, so we use tinctures and essential oils to help reproduction in our area. We can't grab a simple product off the shelf like most larger dairies do.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's got to be a really interesting piece too. Because as you mentioned, you can't just go, "Oh, well, that cow's off. I'll just give it, 100 cc's of this, and she'll be good to go." You really have to pay attention to your cows in order to give them the proper
so
care and
we
treatment.
can't treat our cow with if she comes down with mastitis, we can't grab the penicillin and give it to her in a tube. We have other types of rubs and treatments that we put up there to help with the mastitis.
And we're very proactive. We don't have nothing for reactive.
Okay.
We have to be proactive, so cow health is major. And since we've gone organic, I think our problems we just don't really have any other one here and there. It's amazing when you treat a cow like a cow, how healthy they are. Give them good dry hay, pasture, fresh air, and it's just, they take care of themselves with a little help from us.
Yeah. We'll go over to my right now with Ruth and Rebecca. Now, you both have gone through Sebastopol at this point, I believe. Rebecca, you're in college now, correct? Where are you going to school? Nope.
I graduated.
You graduated. Tell us a little bit about your studies and how that kind of prepared you for your years here on the farm.
I decided to go for agriculture business at UW Platteville, where I got an emphasis in commodity and price analysis and management. So coming back and helping my dad with the commodities more and seeing if he can get a better price, and are we making money at the end of the year, and are we running our business, has really helped just see, are we going to make a profit, or can we do things a better way, a more efficient way when it comes to our business side.
How much did that really open your eyes? Because I know a lot of people. We read it for our newscasts now. with our partnership with the Door County Farm Bureau, you're looking at these numbers like, I don't know what any of this means, especially because it's not just, hey, we're looking at this month's contracts, we're looking at contracts down the road. How much did your college experience kind of open your eyes to that part of the business when before it's like, okay, I got my chores I got to do here. I got to make sure that the cows look good, they're fed well, and things like that. But now you see that other side of agriculture.
I think it really helped me open my eyes to, oh, this is an actual business. We do make a paycheck at the end of the month. How can we better make money, be more efficient? And I think also my internship really helped me see that there is a whole nother side to just not having dairy cows. Agriculture is a lot more than just dairy. So I got to see a lot more like crop farming and all that. And it's also helped me realize like I want to be farming and have like my own cows in the future. And I kind of have that business now.
Now, Ruth, you just graduated from high school. One of you guys who just graduated. Tell us a little bit about what your future plans are and how it relates back to the farm.
So just like Rebecca, I am going to Platteville for agriculture business, but I have not picked out an emphasis. That Platteville offers like several different emphasis because agriculture business is such like a big, broad category. So when I go there in the fall, I'll probably pick out an emphasis once I start classes.
What are the different emphases that you can choose? I mean, as a communication major, I knew UW Green Bay had 5 or 6 of them. What are some of the different choices that you have when you go to UW Platteville?
I know there's the agriculture commodities, like Rebecca said, but
So there's commodity and price analysis, communications and marketing, and then there's also management, which is more like people. I did management and commodity and price analysis because management kind of deals with people, and then also doing commodities, you kind of see that as well.
Very good. And being that 5th generation, do you feel any extra pressure at all, kind of keeping the family farm going and things like that? Kind of continuing that tradition that the Wilke family has?
I think there is a little bit of pressure because I know I wouldn't want my family farm to fall after, especially so much history we have keeping it in the family. I hope one of us does get to take it over one day.
I want to see us make it to 150 years. We got made it to 100 years. I guess I want to see the farm make it to 150 years because not many people get to do that nowadays. With smaller family farms disappearing. So I want to see it like to 150 years.
And a big part of some farms going to the wayside is those younger generations wanting to go on and do different things and stuff like that. How is working with your parents and going to school for agriculture and being as active as you are in the community with agriculture kind of cement your place and this is something I want to do?
I always knew I wanted to be a part of agriculture. That's why I knew I wanted to be a part of agriculture, so just going to school for it, I really learned like, oh, I do want to do this for the rest of my life. And I like dealing with the cows. I love waking up every morning and seeing my cows. When I went to college and I didn't get to see cows every day, I kind of had to figure out what to do because I've done it my whole life. Like after school, we came home, we did the cows, we did all that. So I love being able to do something and see how good we are in the community, I guess.
For me, I hope when I go to college, I could like learn more, if that makes sense. Obviously, I know how to do some of the basic stuff at the farm, but knowing a little bit more of the why just beyond like through the actions that I do every single day, and just becoming more knowledgeable than what maybe my parents can necessarily teach me.
That's got to make you feel pretty good. They're. I mean, I know you've gone and see them at the Door County Fair show and really fall in love, not just with the cows. You guys have scared me with turkeys and other animals over the years as well at the fair. But it's got to make you feel good that it's not like you have to instill that enthusiasm for agriculture with your kids. Your kids already have it.
Yeah, and just to see their thirst for the knowledge. Each one of the girls has a specific breed of cow they like. They don't all like the same thing. Just like we said, there's rabbits here, there's chickens. They all like what they like for whatever reasons they like. We never try to say just this and this. It's a little crazy at times with all the animals to take care
Turns
of.
into a petting
But we
zoo
just
here
didn't
some
want.
years, right?
Yeah, it really is a petting zoo. But we just didn't want to. We want them not necessarily to run wild, but we want them to understand that you don't have to streamline everything. Get a feel for everything and then choose your path. we did want to make a path for them. We wanted them to find their own path.
Tricia, how about you?
Well, the one thing that all of my children need to do or know is how to put a rope halter on a cow, how to take a cow's temperature, how to know if a cow's in labor, to read if she needs help or not. That's all stuff that they're willingly to learn. We don't have to force them to do it. Compared to some families with their children, our children are willing to learn and be educated by that.
Was there anything that they made you learn that you had to be like, no, no, I'm not doing that, or you had to be talked into a little bit more before you're willing to do it?
The one thing for me is that I haven't done yet is learning how like planting crops yet. I
Okay.
haven't done that yet. That's the one thing. Just a little bit afraid of like messing up. I don't know if that makes sense, but for me, that's the only one thing.
Yeah, I'd say that's definitely one of the things that afraid to screw up.
Is that coming down the road, or
I hope so. I got to get them cultivating first and
There we
messing the
go.
fields up. Yeah, and we never pushed jobs on them. We wanted curiosity to take over, and as we felt they were mature, we gave them the jobs. And like you said, they can go out, they can work fields, and take care of cows and take care of baby calves. So it's the hard physical work, or it's the tender nature that you want them to see too, taking care of the baby calves, giving them that first bottle of milk and giving them all their vaccines. So it's a wide spectrum, and I think we've done a pretty good job trying to get them all through all spectrums of the farming industry. They're not just cows or just fields. They learn everything. So yeah, then mom and dad might be able to go on vacation pretty soon.
what's a vacation, right?
A day and a half, that's enough. And dad's got to get back to the farm too.
A long weekend is what you might be able to get away with.
Yep. Yeah.
So, speaking of weekends, coming up on a big one here at Wilke Organic Farm, you're going to be hosting the Sebastopol FFA Dairy Breakfast July 6th. And I guess this is always a great showcase for the farms that get the opportunity to host, to kind of give the community a little bit of a flavor, or also, especially here in Door County, since it is such a tourism-centric county, the people from outside the area to not just come to a farm, but come to an organic farm. What's kind of your favorite things to be able to showcase to people that maybe they've never been on a farm before, maybe they've never been on an organic farm before, and kind of showcase it, whether it's something you can show or a story that you're able to tell? Tricia, we'll start with you.
You don't have to bring the petting zoo to our farm.
That is true. I saw a duck and a chicken walking next to each other like it was like something out of the Lion King.
My thing would be come see what a true family tradition, small family Wisconsin farm is about. 32 cows in the barn. You'll see them on pasture any time of the year, spring through fall. This is my work crew, except for one's working actually at the hospital today. So this is what it is. This is the people that get it done. We've had a few boyfriends now, so Dad can actually take it a little easier.
There we go.
We got boyfriends in the scenario, but it makes me proud to see that we are a family farm. We do all the work, and my girls are taking over.
I think it's really nice, kind of what my dad touched on, that people can come and see how a smaller farm operates, because you don't see a lot of smaller farms nowadays. They're usually over 100 cows, and we don't have that.
I think just our wide array of animals. You're not going to see just a cow. We have donkeys, we have chickens, we even have a peacock that most people can't say that they can see at a dairy breakfast.
Okay, now I got another bird I got to watch out for on the way out of here. You've hosted the dairy breakfast before. What's been maybe the one thing that when you've talked to people that have been here, they go, whoa, I never knew that. What's been that kind of moment for you guys? Rebecca, we'll start with you.
I think just seeing that we are a smaller farm, you're looking at the work crew. There is no hired help, I guess. We do everything day in and day out.
For me, I guess people have told me how knowledgeable I am about all the animals that we have.
For me, it's a privilege that I do have the farm. We do have the animals. People don't, like Rebecca said, when she went to college, she missed that. I guess we really take that for granted. being on the farm, because we do get that. That's the biggest thing I take away is people come here and say, wow, you have this, you have that. And it makes you think about what you actually do have, and are privileged to have.
When you look in our pastures, we have a colorful pasture. It's not just the Holstein. We have the Holstein, the Jerseys, the Milking Shorthorn, Dutch Belts, a Brown Swiss. We have a variety of breeds. So
Now-
most places when you go, you're only seeing one breed of dairy cow. We have a large vest.
Now let's
Every
go into that. You bring up a great question. See, this question from Ask a Farmer is from me now. Is there a reason for having multiple breeds in your field, or is that just the way things shook out? Because I know obviously some farms, like I am a Holstein, I am a Brown Swiss, I'm a Jersey, I'm a Guernsey. But as you mentioned, you got the whole rainbow.
When we first started going organic, we were told to, when you choose your breed, you need something with good leg strength because they have to be able to walk the distance to go to pasture. So we decided on the Milking Shorthorn, more from, I forget what country it's from, with the Alps and stuff. They were used to grazing and climbing the mountains. So the Milking Shorthorn became our breed of choice. And then Jerseys for butterfat. We had a Holstein herd, so we have many cross breeds in there too. And then when we first started being organic, it was very hard to find a replacement cow because that cow has to be organic. I can't just go to the farmer down the road and buy his cow. So you really needed to do your research to find when somebody was retiring for organics, whatever they had for a breed of cow sometimes is what we had the first few, like 2012 through 2015, as we were starting to build our herd of organics and build our herd up. They weren't necessarily the breed of choice we wanted, but it was what we had at that time and build our herd off of that.
Then the final question I have for all four of you, so you can all take a crack at it, is Kevin. You mentioned before that the number of organic farms in Door County is dwindling. You had a few more, now it's down to just two in Door County. How much pride do you take in being one of the last organic farms in Door County?
I guess we're here because we're younger. Most of them just retired and weren't there to take over. I'm proud my girls want to take over. Hopefully that happens. I don't want to push the farm on them. They have to make that decision because you get up every day at 4 o'clock and maybe you're done when the sun goes down and then you start right over. You don't get, and it's 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. You don't get a lot of vacation time.